Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Area Talks. In this episode, we are in the Istanbul office of Property Turkey with Cameron Deggin. Cameron, welcome. It's
Hello.
been a while since we haven't seen you.
I was in Bodrum for about
Yes,
10 days.
I can tell from the color of your skin now.
Yeah, I did catch
Yeah.
the sun.
You were a white man, and
I
now,
was rather pale.
yeah,
I'm not so pale now.
yes, now you're colored.
I am coloured.
You're colored folks now.
I am indeed.
Yeah. All right. Today we're talking about Topkapı area, which
Is that even an area?
well, it's a semt, as we call
It's
them
a
in
district,
Turkish.
isn't it?
It
Yeah.
is, and it's a combination of a few different areas, just like Bomonti.
Actually, it's not.
Yes.
As far as I'm aware, Topkapı is not even a geographical district.
It's not,
just
no.
it's like a little bit of this district, a little bit of this district, a little bit of this district,
Yes.
and people kind of refer to that kind of zone as Topkapı. In
Exactly.
fact, there is no area or a district or a municipality called Topkapı.
Absolutely not.
Exactly. Just to clarify.
And today we are covering just that, and we have a small montage. Let's watch that,
a
and
montage.
we'll be back.
Sorry, Jiggy.
Jiggy.
I like the Jiggy. Jiggy, what is montage again? That our learned friend Alaattin keeps
His name's not
referring
Jiggy.
to. Montage.
You'll see now.
The Topkapı area is located just outside the historic peninsula. Its name Topkapı means the Cannon Gate, as it was the first gate opened up by the cannons of the Sultan Mehmet II, where he entered and conquered Constantinople. Today, however, Topkapı is a very modern urban area of central Istanbul. Due to its location, places such as Hagia Sophia, Grand Bazaar, the Blue Mosque, not just figuratively, but literally are a stone's throw away. As far as the connectivity, the E5 highway passes right through the area and can take you to any part of Istanbul you wish to go. Public transportation-wise, you have the metro line, the tramway line, and the metrobus line. With that, you can easily dodge the traffic and swiftly arrive at, say, the Taksim Square, Levent Business District, or Kadıköy in Üsküdar on the Asian side. So long story short, you don't get any more central than this in Istanbul. What makes this area promising in terms of real estate investment is the three prominent zones of the area. The first one is the residential zone, where you have wide streets full of greenery with no traffic and high safety index, making it ideal for raising a family. Second one is the new education valley, within which there are over 7 universities, including one of Turkey's biggest, Yıldız Technical University. This one alone hosts around 45,000 students and lecturers. The third zone is the industrial zone, within which you have the headquarters of the likes of the Mercedes-Benz and other big Turkish and international companies. So there are just as many white-collar workers as there are students.
All right, Cameron. Let's talk about the location first. The location of this area is located just outside of, the historic walls, the Byzantine walls, and again, as we said in the video, that is a combination of few different areas: the residential area, the education valley, and the industrial zone. Now, what is special about this part of Istanbul is it's a unique composition of neighborhoods that are from different respective fields that have all come together to form up this area called Topkapı, which is quite commercial but residential at the same time, quite industrial yet green at the same time. So it's a hard to understand concept, and we sort of kind of face this issue when we're talking to our clients about this neighborhood. They're asking, okay, is this an area that is fit for a lifestyle? You're talking about commercial zones. You're talking about all of these factories, universities, and all of those places, highways. How am I going to live here? But also there is the residential zone. So to get your expert opinion on this specific part of Istanbul, say on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being very friendly for lifestyle, 10 being very industrial, very commercial, and very investment friendly. How would you rate this neighborhood?
So I'd say it's more investment than lifestyle as far as I'm concerned. But then again, if I was one of our audience, then I would immediately be asking this. Well, hold on. If it doesn't quite make sense for lifestyle, how come it's a good investment? Because if you're
Good
selling,
question,
if you,
Cameron.
and I think that's an important question.
Okay.
Because if you're selling residential property, for residential property to be a good investment, ultimately, somewhere down the line, it has to have a very, very strong lifestyle proposition. Because if it doesn't, how will it be a good investment? It's a residential property. So, in other words, if somewhere down the line, it is not going to have a high level of desirability for predominantly Turkish people to buy as a home, then why would I invest in it today? What's my incentive? Because at the end of the day, if I'm investing in something, then I'm only investing in order to rent out and generate good, strong rental income, and more importantly in Istanbul, as I always say, for capital appreciation. In other words, value growth. Well, if it's residential, value growth will only come in if there'll be many people wanting to buy it and live in it, because it's residential. So what I'm saying is, if something is geared toward investors only, in reality it's not an investment.
Yes.
Because residential real estate will only be a good investment for you as an initial investor if you are going to be able to sell it or rent it very profitably in years to come to an end user,
Yes.
a home buyer, in other words. So if I would say here that I would term Topkapı area more toward investment and not so much for lifestyle, then if I was sitting in the audience, I would ask Cameron, well, Cameron, how would it be an investment if you wouldn't rate it highly for lifestyle?
Would you like to answer that, or
Not really.
shall I?
I'm kidding.
Shall I counter that argument?
I don't think you can counter that argument.
Well,
because it is a very
No.
valid question.
I understand. Maybe not necessarily countering the argument, but what I could say is that you talked about if there are not many people who are willing or who are wanting to live there, how would it make a good investment? I think when it comes to places like Topkapı, it's more than being willing. It's more of a necessity type of a thing. And I'll give you a great example here. We both live in Zekeriyaköy, right?
Yeah.
Our houses, both of our houses, for the price range, when you put it to rent today, I think you would return 3.5%.
That's the only thing it returned, because
Yes.
I mean that's actually a very good analogy, and I was hoping that you draw that one, because that's the way to answer the guy in the audience, because the guy in the audience has a very valid question, and he's right.
Yes.
100%. What it is this. We don't always live where we ultimately would desire to live.
Correct.
So what I'm saying is, Topkapı may not necessarily be an area where Turkish people wake up in the morning and dream to live in,
Nişantaşı.
or Zekeriyaköy, Nişantaşı, Göktürk, Maçka,
Kadıköy.
yeah. However, when you look at where they work, where their children go to school, their ease of commute, rather than getting into the metro and changing for a metro bus and taking 1.5 to 2 hours to get to work, and only to spend another hour or two to get back home, and spend between 2.5 to 3.5 hours every day on the road. Well, the guy with 2 children of school age who works in the industrial zone in Topkapı, or Maslak or Levent business districts, or somewhere within that kind of general vicinity, would be very well served in Topkapı, in a
Correct.
nice neighborhood, on a clean street. And there are some, not all Topkapı is industrial.
Yes.
There are some really decent neighborhoods, yet urban, very urban, but clean and nice neighborhoods, and affordable.
Yes.
So yes, he'd probably be much better served. So he could wake up in the morning and dream of living in Nişantaşı, but dreams are one thing,
He'll be at the walking
reality
distance
is another.
to his working
So
place.
in that
Yeah.
regard, Topkapı, living in Topkapı, may not be
A
the
dream.
dream of
Yes.
most people, but yet it certainly is a very, very good compromise for a lot of people.
Yes.
In that regard, yes, it is an investment, because I think the demand is there. City center, as central as you get, really, affordable, and if you can find a home that is modern, luxury, good quality, then Topkapı may very well be one of those central positions in Istanbul that are still affordable.
Yes.
And as I always say, city center, affordable, luxury. The moment you get these together, city center, affordable, luxury, these 3 points, you have a good investment.
Yes.
Without shadow of a doubt.
And just to reinforce what you just said, in terms of people not really dreaming about living in
Yeah.
Topkapı, but out of necessity, living in that place, and there is actually. And just like you said, when they have these affordable luxury places in a good compound where they have their own parking, their own green area, where their children can run around safely, where they have the pool, the gym, the sauna, the quality housing, and a few shops and restaurants downstairs, and a few shopping malls here and there, then they'll be set for a good amount of time. Let's take a look at the age distribution. Now, this is very interesting. 0 to 25, 28%, 25 to 45, 58%, and 45 plus is only 14%.
So what we're saying is 85% of the population, permanent population of Topkapı area, is under the age of 45.
Correct.
Which means that Topkapı area is home to a very, very young population.
Correct.
Which kind of supports what we said. People who rather live in Maçka or Nişantaşı, but their reality is Topkapı.
Yes.
Necessity, reality, and convenience.
Educational status. Now, university graduates, 40%. Now, what does that tell you? High school, 25%, middle school, 17%.
Well, I'm not surprised, because if you look at the industries around Topkapı, like the likes of the headquarters of Mercedes-Benz and a few other kind of blue chip companies that generally recruit university graduates,
Yes.
which means that it's not unlike, say, Merter, which is mainly textile,
Yes.
okay, where you wouldn't expect so many university graduates. Here, it's more technical, and it's more higher up along the value chain, if you say technological chain. Hence, you are seeing a higher distribution of university graduates, which is a good thing if you're coming into this area as an investor.
Marital status, married, 54%, single, 40%, divorced, 2%, widowed, 3%.
Married, 54%, single. Well, that kind of, that's in support, because it's mainly young people. So and the distribution of that is half of them are single, half of them are married. Yeah. But and I'd say to you, most of that, the 54% married category, would be newly married or married in the last 10 years.
Yes.
Because they're younger people, so they probably have between 1 to 3 children. Now you're going to say to me, what does that mean? Well, statistically speaking, 2.4 children they have.
2.4 children.
2.4. So they do have 2 full children, and they do have a 40% of a child,
Yeah, which is a normal family.
which is a normal family.
Very normal family.
Very normal
Yeah.
family.
And here is what I really, where I'm really gonna need your opinion, is the future investment projection. Where do you think Topkapı will go from here?
what I'd like to say about this is the location again, as I always say. In big cities such as Istanbul, if you're centrally located, in the long run, you're never going to go wrong. And I'm pretty sure that many of our investors and a lot of people sitting and watching this right away, right now, would have also experienced similar scenarios over the past 10, 20 years in big cities around Europe and around the world. City centers always appreciate. It isn't a case of if. It always is a case of when. And that pretty much depends on what is going on in that particular area, around that area, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of amenities, in terms of attractions that will give more curb appeal to the area. These are the types of factors that take an area from here to here in a short period, or the graph will go slowly and sluggishly. Now, really, what you're asking me is this. How do you see the movement, upward movement of Topkapı in the next 5 to 10 years?
Correct.
Now, obviously, for us to sit here and try and project can only be based on our experience, our knowledge, well, more so our knowledge of what is exactly going on in that area. And if you start digging around and trying to understand, rationalize as a foreign investor, you're not really likely to come up with a conclusive answer yourself. The main, let's say, shadow, in my opinion, that kind of weighs in on Topkapı as a zone and kind of slows it down from doing this in terms of price is the industrial zone.
Yes.
The industrial zone, having a massive industrial zone next door doesn't really quite go hand in hand with the Golden Mile residential zone in the city center.
Yes.
However, the interesting thing is, just like we observed 4 or 5 years ago along Basın Express, the Media Highway area, the industrial zones in central Istanbul have to go out. Not they want to, they have to.
Of course.
Because the government is trying to push them out. They give them incentives, they give them all sorts of assistance to actually move out. Now, Topkapı is no exception. So the industrial zone around Topkapı is going to be regenerated.
Yes.
Is going to move out. And there's going to be quite a lot of land and quite a lot of development areas freed up in order to reshape and recreate this beautiful part of Istanbul, this extremely central part of Istanbul, with leisure activities, possibly with parks, a lot of attractions, universities. Well, the education is big time in the zone already.
Course, yes.
So once that is happening, and once that happens, and again, it isn't if, it's when, and my projection is over the next 5 years, we will start seeing major uprooting and leaving that area in terms of industry. They have to, and they're incentivized to do so,
yes.
and they will do. Now, that will have a massive impact on what happens in Topkapı region.
Yes.
And certainly, it will have a massive upside boost movement in terms of property prices there.
Yes.
Well, as a matter of fact, property prices in Topkapı area have already increased in the last 5 years.
Of course.
What they were 5 years ago and what they are today, there's already a dramatic increase.
Of
So
course.
it's already happening. It isn't that, it's sitting there or lying down and sleeping and nothing is happening. No.
No.
As far as
Absolutely
Turkish
not.
people who are in the know,
Yes.
they're already putting their money in Topkapı
course, yeah.
because Topkapı area is already going up. Now I'm waiting for the big boost, which I think is going to come within the next 5-6 years.
Yes.
The big, real boost that happened in Kağıthane, happened in Bomonti, Basın Express 5 years ago, Media Highway,
Happening in Fikirtepe now.
happening in Fikirtepe, almost all happened, but there's still pockets
Yes.
in Fikirtepe, as we explained, I think, a few months ago in our straight talk. Topkapı is one of those.
Yes.
So I'm expecting that massive, hey guys, the path is clear now. Come and invest in Topkapı. Come and live in Topkapı. I'm expecting those days to come in not so distant future. So the investment potential of Topkapı is like any other centrally located district that welcomes residents for a peaceful life.
Yes.
Topkapı is already getting there, but once the industry starts moving out properly, there's nothing stopping Topkapı. So that's why have a good look at Topkapı. Again, think outside the box. Do not, please do not go with things that are very heavily marketed.
Yes.
Like the Kanal Istanbul, like a project or a development overlooking Kanal Istanbul. 2-minute walk to Kanal Istanbul. Look, guys, those are all blah, 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 blah. Okay?
Yeah.
Go, think outside the box, and go and find your own little gems in Istanbul, because there are so many where you can make some serious money.
Yeah.
Okay?
You know
And
why I like
Topkapı
you?
could be one of them.
You know why I like you? I like you because you're different.
Well, how is that?
Well, because see, I mean, even the stuff that you talked about, I've been in real estate, all my life, right? All my life. What you're saying is making sense.
Weren't you with TRT World?
Yes, but my father, I was literally born and grew up in, construction lands.
All right. So
Yeah,
did you do
construction
bricklaying
sites.
and stuff?
Yeah, I hated that when I was a child. Then I broke my path away and I became a journalist. But came back.
But
to
you
real
always
estate.
had real estate
Yeah.
at the back of your mind.
Yeah,
You
I mean-
said, I want to lay some bricks. And
No,
I wanna
that
get
was
in there.
that was until I met you. I said, okay, real estate, family business, and journalism. Let's combine it all together. But what I'm saying is, even to me, now that I listen to you in this 3, 4, 5 minutes, however long you talked about, it's just it's really making sense. All of these things that you're saying, and you don't see these things anywhere else. This is why Cameron Deggin is different. This is why Property Turkey, and this is why our show is different.
I love our
As
show.
the
So
host
is this a
of the
straight
show,
talk or is this an area
it is.
show?
I
What is
don't
this?
care what it is. As the
Okay.
host of the show,
You'll determine later.
even if I'm enjoying and listening and all of that, it's just that means that we're doing something good.
I enjoy it, and I hope everybody else does too.
Now, one last detail. This show is too long. I'm gonna cut it.
Oh,
down.
this is too long.
Yeah,
This is way too long.
one last detail, guys. If you text to this number, because Topkapı area is made up of different neighborhoods. So even if you go on our website, you're not gonna be able to find an area called Topkapı.
Because there's
So yeah, let's send an email or send a message to this WhatsApp number so that our consultants can send you whatever is available there and guide you through the area itself. And that's what I would think one of the reasons why Topkapı is not that mainstream,
Yeah.
because it's not on the property search anywhere.
It isn't. The only place that a majority of our audience would have heard of Topkapı is via Topkapı Palace.
Oh yeah.
Which
Guys, thank you very much for watching, and see you in the
Thanks
next
a lot.
episode.